Well, hello there and welcome to the Cupcake Jemma channel with me, Gemma, in my kitchen, just, you know, whipping a little something special up as a sort of sweet snack, if you will. This is actually one of Nikki Coyne's recipes, so props to Nick. I literally never call her Nick. Props to Nikki. This is a really easy recipe. It's for a flapjack, and listen, we've all made a flapjack, right? Unless you haven't made one. Flapjacks are really common in this country. It's one of the first things that kids learn to bake. Normally, it's just a case of oats, butter, golden syrup. That's kind of it, really. Bake it. Oh, that reminds me, I better put the oven on. To 175 degrees C. So normally, a flapjack is just a super simple case of mixing, like literally 3 ingredients together. But, because, you know, we're a bit extra over here at the Cupcake Jemma channel, and Nikki loves to zhuzh things up. She's added a few more things, so I'm gonna make it for you now. It's really easy. I've got a food processor here because that's what I'm gonna make it in, but you can do this actually in a bowl, just with a wooden spoon, if you're with kids, or you can even do it by hand, like rubbing it, if you like, if you wanna get really messy. I'm gonna just let the machine do the work and also do the mess. So I've got 250 grams of, I've got jumbo oats here, but you could use rolled oats or any kind of oats really. The only difference really will be in the texture, because obviously a jumbo oat is a whole oat situation, so it'll be maybe a little bit more chunky, whereas a rolled oat is a bit more broken up, and so maybe the flapjack will be a little bit more compact. Looking at it now, maybe I have got just regular oats. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, just oats. Porridge oats, rolled oats, whatever, just oats. So 250 grams of those going into my food processor. And to that, I'm going to add 125 grams of light soft brown sugar, 125 grams of soft butter, a little pinch of salt, and then I've got 60 grams of golden syrup. Golden syrup really is the ultimate flapjack binder. It's just got such a unique flavour. And then we've got a half teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and then pop the lid on, and I'm going to pulse that until it all comes together. Great. So it's all kind of come together. I don't want it to like become one solid lump because I do need to stir some extra things through it. So I'm just going to put it into this big bowl, dump it right in. Fun times. Then I'm going to add the extra bits. So I have got some toasted pecans and some caramelized white chocolate. I just picked these up really nonchalantly, but I'm actually really proud of myself because I made these bowls. I did a pottery throwing class. I got it for Christmas from my husband, and I did it with this great lady Bex from Throw to Fire in Brighton. And I'm really pleased with my bowls, guys. I'm not gonna lie, this is my first time doing it, and I am super proud of myself. And actually, they're just the right size for my little ingredients, so this is great. Anyway, I'm gonna pop those both in. So I've got 60 grams of caramelized white chocolate, which I already caramelized. Now, we've done a load of videos on these. There's actually a whole video dedicated to caramelized white chocolate. So if you've never done that before, you can head over there to that video and learn how to do it. But it's really simple. You just put some good quality white chocolate, break it up, and pop it into a roasting tray. Put it into the oven at a lowish temperature, 120, kind of low, and then bake it. It takes about an hour every 10 or 15 minutes, and do set the timer for this. Give it a stir, and what will happen is it kind of seizes up at first, but then it starts to like break down and go all oozy, and it takes on this lovely color and a really amazing flavor. Once it's ready, you just pour it into a tray of some kind, lined, and let it set, and then you can chop it up into these little bits. So I've done that. So I'm gonna pour those in with my flapjack mixture, along with some toasted pecans, and then give it a really good stir. So I'm gonna bake mine in an 8-inch pan. I've greased and lined this on all sides, just so it doesn't stick, because this is quite a sticky mixture because of the golden syrup and all the sugar. And I'm just going to dump that into my tin, and then just press it down with the back of a spoon or a spatula. Not too compact, like you don't want it to be rock solid, but just give it a little bit of pressure just to make it all nice and even all the way through. So here it is, nice and compact. Flat on the top. I'm gonna bake this at 175 degrees C for around 18 minutes. And like I said, if you're using a smaller tin, it's gonna be thicker, so it's gonna need a little bit more time in the oven. So just what you're looking for is it to be slightly golden around the edges. It'll never be like firm, it'll firm up on cooling. So when you take it out of the oven, just leave it to cool completely. Well, it's out and it's cooled and it smells divine in here. I popped out to post something. When I came back and opened the door, oh my God, the waft of like buttery, golden syrupy, cinnamony yumminess was to die for. Anyway, I'm gonna have to cut this guy up, which is a shame because it is very pleasingly like square. But I'm gonna cut this guy into fingers. I figure that way I can just sort of like pop it in. Let's cut. Gonna need a sharp, long knife and a little bit of welly. Look at that. Oh, you know, it looks like this little piece. You might have noticed I changed my mind halfway through cutting. Decided to do little squares instead, mainly because it was easier. Oh my gosh, it smells so delicious. This little piece here looks like an unassuming little bit of flapjack, a good old fashioned flapjack, but we're elevated, baby. This is so good. I mean, a regular flapjack is like one of life's simple pleasures. Chewy, sweet, oaty. But this has like a lot more going on. We've got the cinnamon in there. We've got the little crunch from the toasted pecans, which are a really lovely nut. Pecans on their own are great, but when you toast them, they become this whole different thing. And in the same way as that, we've got the caramelized white chocolate, which is kind of in this same flavor profile, if you will, as the sort of warm, golden syrupy, cinnamony vibes. I've got a little bit there, look at that. Little chunko. It's perfection. And so easy. And apart from waiting for it to cool down, which is one of the hardest things, like with all baking, it's just the hardest thing to do, is to wait for these things to cool down so we can actually eat them. But I think you'll agree, that was one of the most simple recipes of all time. You could do that, you could just whip that up on a whim. And like I said, it's really fun to do with kids. I should probably have done this with Eden. Love it. Now, if you give that a go, please do take a picture, put it on Instagram using the hashtag Cupcake Jemma. Is there any simple bake that you do that you've like zhuzhed up yourself? You know, a simple like childhood bake that you've like amplified with your amazing baking skills? Let me know in the comments below. Let the people know. Maybe even share the recipe. I don't know if there's a character limit on comments below, so maybe go for it. Share with us the recipe. I will be back soon with another video, and in the meantime, remember that I love you and that you deserve everything that you bake. I deserve this.